Is the other person who got ballot access in New York State. I mean, she's phenomenal. She has a lot of people all over Forest Hills. I noticed her collecting petitions. For those who do not know her, she's running on the Blue Party line. And anyway, let me pass the microphone over to you.
Thank you. Okay, I guess I can stand here and you can see me. So yes, I'm running for U.S. Senate. I did get on the ballot. There were no challenges to my signatures, which were just shy of 70,000 volunteers. And you should know some of what's going on in the various lawsuits around the Kennedy petitions, because frankly, it's outrageous what the DNC is doing right now. And I think you are a little too kind to the DNC. They are a fascist organization. Now, what I will say is that the issue we are facing is we are at the end of the transatlantic British liberal system. The City of London and Wall Street are sitting on a bubble of about $2 quadrillion of derivatives that can never be paid. And what we are doing, or the elites of this nation and the UK, is starting wars and funding wars. The military is perhaps the new bubble when we cannot fix a pothole, provide housing, get the rats out of the city. And I would have voted, so you know, in the Senate against the $95 billion of weapons that we just sent to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. And in case you didn't hear today, the spokesman for the Israeli military just said, we cannot have a total victory against Hamas, it's an ideology. So if there is not a peace plan, if there is not,
let her speak.
if there is not,
you're not going to do that here.
Shut up.
No,
Thank
you shut
you.
up. You let them speak. They came here to speak. You want to have a problem? Go to Queens Village and pull that nonsense. All
You
right?
shut up, okay? You're not. You're
Yeah,
useless.
I'm what? You want me
You're
to
useless.
shut up?
let me just go ahead. These wars are not intended to end. And if you haven't figured that out, figure it out.
It's not Israel's
Because
fault.
that is the
It's not Israel's
looting
fault.
that's going
It's
on.
not Israel's fault, okay?
Now, the
Listen,
other
it's not
problem
Israel's
we
fault.
have
You're a rhino. You can't
Which
make the Democrats.
makes
I
the
don't
debate
care for Democrats, okay? You don't know what you're talking
questionable.
You're an idiot.
She's talking.
It is Diane's
Gentlemen,
Diane's turn to
gentlemen,
speak.
let's,
Bring the hostages home.
Gentlemen.
That's what we need, okay?
Gentlemen.
Bring the hostages home.
Mr. Noble, please.
No, I'm not gonna let someone like this speak.
Mr.
Okay?
Mr.
Stand by
Rinaldi,
Israel.
please.
I'm not gonna let
I'm
him
going to
speak,
take him
okay?
outside if he doesn't stop. I'll tell you
Mr.
that.
Rinaldi, Mr. Noble, gentlemen, stop it! Okay? And also, I'm gonna get, and I get physical. Now be quiet, we have a guest here, she's speaking, she deserves our attention. Thank you.
One of the virtues of this club is that most of the members support freedom of speech, which is something that is being trampled on. Now, the issue is that it doesn't even matter what you think, because at the moment we do not have free elections. It is absolutely impossible that Joe Biden is leading by 2% or whatever they say. That is impossible. The guy is senile, it's obvious. I can tell you, when we were petitioning, my volunteers spoke with about 250,000 people. You could count the Biden supporters that you met in a day, even in Manhattan, on one hand. And the reason they were supporting Biden is what that gentleman brought up, which is Trump derangement syndrome. They don't support Biden, they've just been made so terrified of Trump that they think they have to support Biden. And the way they're trying to undermine Kennedy, as you may know, is that they're actually calling people who signed the petitions for Kennedy and saying, did you really mean to sign that petition? Did you know who you were signing for? Did you know that signing that petition could get Trump elected? Would you like to take your name off of that? So what, and that is the DNC. That's what I'm saying. It is a fascist organization. And the system stinks from top to bottom. So my campaign is dedicated to fighting this from top to bottom and bottom to top. To be transparent, to say what I think in spite of opposition, and the biggest issue is to rectify this blowout of the financial system. It is our insanity that has led to de-dollarization. People didn't all want to leave the dollar. They left the dollar because we put sanctions on them. We threw them off the SWIFT system. We said you can't trade. We are thinking, do you know what's gonna happen if we steal, as we are doing now, all of the Russian foreign currency assets and use them to rebuild Ukraine? No one will ever put money in, they'll never invest in American dollars or treasuries again. If you go to a bank and the bank steals your money and everyone finds out about it, do you think anyone's gonna put their money in that bank? So everything we do right now is destroying ourselves, and the people that we call our allies, we are destroying them too. So what I am saying is we have to face that this system is bankrupt. We have to put Wall Street, the Federal Reserve, through a kind of bankruptcy reorganization. I think the Federal Reserve needs to be replaced with a national bank. That's what the Constitution says. Hamilton wrote 2 gigantically long papers proving that. And then what? You have to make credit. Why do we have an economy? The economy is to serve the people. We are not supposed to be an appendage of a banking system where they just use us to run the money through. Look what's happening now. Look at someone, just the candidate here before, talked about how much your taxes can increase. For what? How much has your home increased in value? What did you do? Add a swimming pool, a jacuzzi, and 5 tennis courts? Is that why your house increased in value? No, it's because we are bailing out a rotten system, and what matters is not money, it's the physical economy. Do you have enough electricity? Do you have clean drinking water? Do your pipes, are they still made of lead? The pipes in most of New York City are over 100 years old. The tunnels that go under the Hudson River are over 100 years old. An engineer told me that cast iron has a life of about a century. You get salt water. Everything we're looking at is beyond its expectancy. So if you want to do something that benefits the people of the United States, which is what our Constitution says the government is supposed to do, then you put these crooks and perverts. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't unique. Out of business. Yes, if there's time, I'm sorry. You put them through bankruptcy and you make available credit to build probably 43,000 miles of high-speed rail. I think we need about 500 new nuclear power plants in this nation. We need water management. The Army Corps of Engineers has plans for decades that have been approved by Congress and never funded. There is no need when it rains for 15 minutes that you get flooded out and you can't drive anywhere. This is insane. So these things can be addressed. We know how to do it, but we have to stop playing the charade that we have an election. We don't have an election. We don't have an election. And you have to face it, and we have to fight that. So that's it. I'll just stop right there.
Okay, thank you very much, Diane. Unfortunately,